And how are we doing? Now then. The reason for this video, as you can see from the title, is to go through some significant hands I had playing my most recent tournament, which was part of the PokerStars MicroMillions series. And as you can see, it was insane. That's the lobby. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of entrants. Massive prize pool when in relation to the buy-in. Some of these payouts are insane. So the reason for this video is to go through, well, really it's to sort of show that I've picked 44 notable hands, and these aren't hands that I've all won or that I've played well, because a lot of them, as you'll see, I've played very poorly or I've missed out on equity, and a lot of it's just down to luck. But this is just to sort of portray how, just to give you a full idea of what needs to happen, or what happens if you do a run like this. So yeah, looking at the lobby there, I came 5th out of 26,000 entrants for in the I get the full title of the tournament. 1 second. Where's my picture gone? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, just to make it look weird, MicroMillions 139, $5.50 progressive knockout, and yeah, took quite a while. But this, yeah, like I said, this video is just to sort of give you a real comprehension on how many flips you need to win and what hands you need to play, and it's the sort of luck that has to come in there, but also the mindset you need to have when you get super deep big tournaments like this, because every hand matters. And it's so yeah, I've picked 44 out of the total that was over 500, I believe. Yeah, it's 534 hands from start to finish. But obviously that will take far too long, and I already bore you guys senseless with that. So what we're going to do is just go through 44 that I have cherry picked to give a sort of quite a good overall overview of what happened. So let's have a look. So I'm just going to go through some of these hands are more straightforward than others, and some of them it's just so you can see a flip that I win or whatever, or see a hand that I play badly and lose and make myself look like an idiot. And I think a couple of the hands I'm not actually involved with. It's just again to show like the equity swings and to show how quickly it can go from being a min cash to, and how sort of fine the margins are. So this first hand is fairly straightforward. This is the 16th hand of the tournament. I believe we started with 10k. So yeah, I'm already down. Not started very well. So fairly standard so far. I obviously flopped the absolute joint. Figured I'd check. I think these the HUD stats were valid at the time of the time the hand was played, which is helpful to bear that in mind going forward. So obviously 33 bigs, got the absolute stone nuts, so more than happy to check behind here with a view of continuing the turn if the villain doesn't do anything. So that's what they did. So we bet about a third pot. Yeah, it's a quick call, and I'm not happy with the way I played this because the villains played this very meekly. Quite a high VPIP. And there's a lot of things that they could potentially pay off value bets with, like random sevens or whatever. But I open shove river thinking, I don't know what I was thinking to be fair, but I just saw a straight and went all in. So that's not really what I should have done in that hand. But I think it's because it was a bounty. I thought they might peel off with like a weird 7 or something. I think I was bluffing, but the hand I didn't play that with. It didn't make a lot of sense what I did. So that's why I only took down the small pot. Next hand is pocket 9s. This is hand 31 of the tournament. 9's being my favourite hand. I was obviously going to try and play this if I could. And I get 6x raised. I'm more than happy to take a flop here. I could shove and go back. Play call. So yeah, there's 5.2k in the middle. I'm getting 20% on my call, but apparently I've got 32% equity between these 5 people. But I'm going to see a call here. I see a flop here, sorry. I'll take it from there. I think yeah, he comes along as well. So obviously the flop tops are here, very, very happy. And I think I shoved to protect against the hearts. I didn't want to sort of bet small and get a couple of peels, and then again it's a bit nitty really, because I think with the stack sizes I was going with this anyway, and it's a knockout tournament so people's ranges are a lot wider, so there was whatever happened with that and I was going broke, I think, because it's too soft to lay down there. But again, nobody had anything, so fairly straightforward. Again, some of these hands are just relatively straightforward early on, but obviously you get better and better. So this is the third hand, or the 41st one in the tournament. This is King 5. I'll happily see a flop here. I don't mind playing Plat's heart position if I've got a malleable stack, so I can believe I've got a bit of an edge pre-flop, post-flop in tournaments of this sort of buy-in range. So, so I don't want to get shoved off the pot or anything like that, so let's check it here. And it's weird that it got checked around as well. I thought they might have continued that board, so tried to protect my hand at this point and tried to buy it here and get a call. And absolutely bingo on the river. Gin. So again, a lot's got there, but they've played it quite slowly so far, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing at this point. So I don't want to check and get a check back. So quite a sizable bet there, but instant reshove. Obviously, very snap call there, and aces. So that's another pot. I wish these software showed you the averages at the time, like the chips average at the time, or how many was left. But what can you do? So yeah, this is hand 4. The pocket nines again, 40 bigs. We get a again, this one's straightforward. I think, yeah, raising a shove from 10 big blind stack just to isolate. And yeah, again, this is one just to illustrate. I've come from behind a couple of times in this tournament to get where I did, so that one's fairly straightforward. So I'm 55 bigs at this point, and see a flop. Again, just priced in. Just double check I was getting the right price. Oh, stupid thing, go back. So I've got 20% equity 4 ways against 4 unknowns, and I was getting 8.63 to 1, so winning call on the long one. And so flop top pair here. Playing flow, I'll check. And at this point, we've got sort of half pot bet and call. And yeah, pot's getting quite sizable now. Stack to pot to stat ratio for this guy is obviously getting believe, yes, obviously we'll play along here because we've got a pair. Turns quite a large break. The fact that we get a check from the villain here leads me to believe he's not that strong, given his stack behind. I think he'd want to get it in and protect if he had anything, or just try and get double up. And then go with the rest of the hand. So the river again pairs the board. So we'd call any bet from him at this point. So we're in a position, but and then we get a half pot bet on the river. So at this point, it's one of those, I believe, straightforward ones where it looks like they're trying to steal the pot. I don't think they've played a 9 this way. So at this point, I'm happy to just happy to call if he goes all in behind, which he wouldn't have done, but I would have got his bounty anyway, hopefully. But we're getting 3 to 1 on a call here, and I think that just any queen's good enough at this point. Well, could be potentially, I won't be chopping, but if you had a queen, you had a queen, but they didn't play it like that, so we made the call on this occasion. And they had Jack 10, so misdraw, tried to steal at the end. So you're up to 50k at this point. So now we have pocket kings. We get a limp, so jump it up as you do in position, and it gets yeah, this one's straightforward. We'll fly through some of these now, I think. I remember this one. Did they have the ace queen? Yeah. So again, so you go down from 50 to 35 just like that, but it happens. What hand are we on here? This is hand number 7. So button raiser, Jack 10 suited. Getting a bit frisky here. Similar stacks, but I like the fact I love this hand, and we have the button. So the overshove there. Don't know what they're overshoving, to be honest. Couldn't really glean much from this at the time. 3-bet blind still, no, Queen Jack suited, 3-bet no. So, but again, a lot of this goes out the window when you're playing knockout tournaments. You have to sort of just go your read sometimes, because the stats you've got here, obviously for tournaments that they've also played that aren't bounties, but everyone's ranges is so bizarre in these, trying to get people's bounties. So we commit the majority of our stack. I don't really remember this hand that much. Commit the majority of our stack, and we hit a flush on the river. So yeah, in hindsight, we were on that, to be results orientated, in that exact occasion we were incorrect to make that call. Or we weren't incorrect, we were behind, but obviously to do a deep run you've got to be lucky if you get it in bad, which I did there. So yeah, again, in a vacuum I might not have played that hand the same way now, but at the time that's what I did and it worked out. So this one's straightforward again, I think. Reshove to isolate a 10-bit blind shove. And make a straight against ace 10. So again, we've knocked out, we've come from behind again. It's like the 4th time now. And now we're on hand number 9 to show you hand number 9 of the video anyway. This is hand 103 of the whole tournament. This is we're getting through it. Very playable hand here. Again, I think this is about 40% pep, 40% pot. Pet, can't speak. So at this point, we're looking to build a pot, and obviously we're looking to induce at this point, which worked. So it's a straightforward hand from my perspective. 10-4 offsuit, so standard button raise, looking to steal the blinds. If we see a flop, if we do. So again, we've got 2 short stacks in the blinds, so any sort of hand we're looking to not overplay as such, but maximise our equity and try and get the bounty. So in this case, obviously, flopped quite a large, like straight flush draw. Depending on how they play it, depends on what we do. So they both check it, so we try and bet to take it down, but we're priced to call any shove from either blind. I'm not sure what they'd be check jamming, but we get a straight call, which is we find a bit strange. So, and then they lead into us. So either way, I think in this hand it was going in, but the fact that they flatted and then led into us leads me to believe that we were behind at the time, obviously quite a way, and made the call and just absolutely brick the river. And that's fair enough. Nothing to be done there. So yeah, you forget about it, on to the next one. This is hand 11. And yeah, again, like I said, some of these are more straightforward than others. So we trying to can't remember this hand. So at this point we check the flop, bet again about 40% pot on the turn, lead into the button, who flats, and the river they've got over pot behind, and we relinquish the betting lead to them and they bet 14,000. So at that point I was betting to call I was checking to call the bet. And that didn't work, so it was quite a big pot there. Didn't really play that hand very well, to be fair, so but you leave, it's just one of those ones that happens. Again, fairly standard here, line stealing, middle pair, you're going to protect it with about 40% pot bet, reevaluate on the turn, so 20,000 in the middle with the effective stack with about 30 bigs. Obviously not the best of turn cards for us, but I'd like to think we've still got a fairly decent equity, and then obviously gin for us in the river, turned the river the straight, so we bet the other end. So in, oops, let's go back. That's not going to work, is it? So in this case, let's go back. So in that instance, the river there wasn't played. You can't factor in ace queen. If you've got ace queen, they've got ace queen. They've really not played it like that, so it shouldn't really be part of the decision. The decision should be maximise the equity, maximise the value for your hand, which I didn't do in this case. I could have got value from lots of sets, lots of 2 pairs, or hopefully anyway. The board was quite disgusting, but I could have played that hand better. Obviously at the low end of the straight there, so they might not have paid off a shove anyway, but you never know. So we are now on to hand number 13, I believe. We have a 7-8 offsuit, and as soon as the dynamic like this approaches, I love seeing flops. It might not be the correct decision, but let's see if it is. We need 6.3 to 1, 14%. We have 31, so we're allowed to call. Middle pair, decent kicker, so definitely want to see a turn. It's checked around. Now we've got 2 pair. Now we want to protect our hand. I know there's a flush on board, but again it's played quite passively on the flop, so bet about 40% pot and get a call. And ace on the river, so we go quite big again here. And about 40%. I'm seeming to like that number today. 40% from the big stack. Looking at them in the stats. So we dynamically would have looked at that at the time and then gone. There's a lot of we can take a flush out of the range because they've not played it like we thought they would do at the time. So we can safely assume we have a pretty decent hand, better than 1 pair hand. So better than what we think we'd put on a 1 pair hand. So we can go for a bit of value here. Greedy villain calls with the 1 pair hand. So yeah, some nice value there. Could have potentially got more, but we could have also potentially been beat. So it's about the right bet size. And I'm not too sure about this call here for myself in hindsight, but yeah, this is hand 14 or 140 of the or 150, sorry, of the whole tournament. I like playing flops in position. We've got a decent-ish stack, so we get donked into by the big blind, but I'm not sure what that call was. I think it was maybe a some sense of weakness, maybe a timing tell or something. And we bet the flop, bet the turn, and we call again. and we get checked on the river. At this point, we got checked on the river, so obviously I've completely whiffed at this point, but the bet sizing I went for was very, very value-y, like openly value-y. So again, for two reasons. One, I wanted it to look like a value bet, so they potentially knew that they were behind. And two, if I bet more, bet maybe over half pot and they shoved, I've wasted money there when hopefully a smaller bet would do the job. So I'm not quite sure what I put them on, just any sort of misdraw or just anything that they're trying to steal a pot with, maybe an ace or something. So we'll go for 14,000 and gets the job done, which was a very nice pot to win. Take it down. I remember this hand, Queen 5 of spades, always complete, even in cases, well, not even in cases, I'm not quite sure what I do when they're around 10 big blinds. I tend to do a variety just to sort of range merge and all that, but obviously we flop huge and have to try and get value. So this plays out like in a normal hand, but the fact of the dude's on a very short stack, but he's playing it quite strong here. I think we may lose this one. Can't quite remember. 4-7. Yeah. So you could tell by the bet sizings, like normally they just go with it if they hit a queen at some point, but the fact that they're being dead snug and just committing bits, they weren't protecting against anything because they had a made hand. They were just trying to ensure they got the full double up. So again, it wasn't a massive stack, so we're not asked in that situation, don't really care. On to the next one. So this is hand number 16. Getting frisky now. 9-8 of diamonds, nice hand to play in a bounty. Flop trips, obviously with the check, the effective stack. So we've got a quite a funky turn here. Got a 9 blocker, we've got trips, lots of draws out there. So again, we're going to start. There's two ways to play, but we look to build a pot, make them pay for the draws, and they all come in the end. But we would have called a bet on the river there, but luckily they checked behind. King 10, again, just fairly standard raise, 30 bigs. Trying to be more active in these sort of tournaments because I've got to these stages before where I've missed out on a lot of equity because I've either not been fully concentrating or I've just let pots go when you need to start competing and start just, if you've not been active, be active. And especially if I'm relatively confident post flop, so again, looking to build a pot here with one pair, but we've been led into again. And then luckily we get a check behind. Got him in his hand, Queen Jack. So again, just stationing with top pair, and it worked on that occasion. So now the blinds are getting quite big. His hand 18 of the video, nearly halfway. And I'd like to see a turn. We've got a lot of back doors here, and there's one of them. Happy to check again because the pot at this point, well, it's 100,000, and then they both bet 50. At this point, the pot's 200,000, so we've only got 168 behind. 4-1 on a call here. Allegedly got 35% equity. Got a lot of, well, looking at it now, I'm not quite sure what I would do, but I think the shove's the right answer. But just a flat, oh, okay. So we flat, leaving 249 in the middle. A flat a third on my stack then. Don't like that. And then obviously the river breaks. What do you do if you shove? If it doesn't, your story doesn't make any sense. You're just going to get a call, especially in a bounty again. So they obviously had something where we didn't. 2 pair on the river is good. So now we are It's still at 14,000, 7,000, and we are very low in chips. So ace-10 here is more than enough for a shove. Hopefully it gets through, but we'll get a call by a worse ace. And no, we were ahead and it stayed ahead, which is what you need. So now ace-king, 11 big blinds. Again, this one should be fairly straightforward. Open ship. ISO'd. A fairly good board for us. Can't see how we'd be losing that one. It's 4 happy days, so up to 400,000 now. Again, like to be a bit funky in this sort of case. Obviously, absolute gin. Again, with the check. Take a call there, keep everybody involved. And then we lead for... I like the lead in this case. It looks like you're better a picked up draw or something. You wouldn't have thought you were better than 9 at this point, so it's quite good to bet. Bit of a nitty bet as well, leaving that much money behind. You'd shove if you had a value hand. Or maybe not actually. Merging myself in my head here. What bet 100,000 looking to induce. And we get an ISO shove from the villain. Obviously we absolutely snap him off. And fill up on the end. We had kings, so got lucky there. Another instance where we got lucky. On the hand 22 now. So both fairly deep in the blinds. We're happy to call a raise here and play it in position. Again, fairly standard, let them continue into here. Very nice turn, we're not going to go anywhere now. I don't like that check behind. That check behind doesn't accomplish a lot. We're happy we've got the best hand here. We don't think they've got anything. We should just bet to try and take this down. It's a fairly sizable pot. Protect our hand. And there's a myriad of reasons to bet here, but something in that check can give them the, well, obviously the absolute best straight in every sort of draw gets there, but we must have had a read on the modest plan to station them from the outset, so we call, and they had absolute air, so again my read must have been right, but so now we're on hand 24, 9-7. This is where I probably shouldn't be getting funky with my blinds, because the obviously everyone's blind to stack ratio is getting diluted now as the tournament's going on. I don't know how many's left at this point, but there can't have been that many, so this is where you don't get frisky with silly hands like this when you don't need to. I mean, I will have looked at the blinds at the time and realised that they weren't going to shove, potentially because of the stack sizes that they've got. They're not trying to chip up in that way. They're going to see flops as well, so maybe there's an argument to, if you're going to play these sort of hands deep in a tournament, now's when you do it, but speculate to accumulate would have gone through my head most likely, because that's one of my favourite sayings. Yeah, make the call, try and use a bit of a personal hedge that if we think we have, maybe misguided. So again, this is the ideal flop for this sort of hand. I like to think they're playing some sort, if they're playing some sort of king, we're obviously ahead here, so, but we want to play it fast. We don't want to let them catch up with a board pair or anything like that, so and it could look like we're playing a draw if we try and race them off it, so they might try and go for their bounty that way. So we bet quite big here and get 2 folds. But again, it's no one's messing with us, it's our pot, is what we like to see. So pocket 7s. Bit of a indication there, my raise sizing to get them an idea what I've got for a laugh. So we continue there, and at that point when we get a call, we're not that happy, to be fair, but again they've called on the button. Could be a lot of drawing hands, they might just have a weak jack. But we check, we give up the range in the turn. Give them the opportunity to bluff if they were going to, I suppose, is one way to look at it. Very small bet, so we're happy to continue there. Again, we think we not too happy, could be losing at this point, but a check again. So checked again, gives them another opportunity to bluff if they were going to. But again, the bet sizing isn't that convincing to me at this point, looking at it in hindsight as well. And obviously we've got quite a lot of stats here on the villain that we would have had in real time as well, to sort of say if these, we would not have played this hand the same way against someone else, but we knew that their button range and their style was that they'd try and buy any pot, so we'd like to think our hand's good at this point based on that. We fold. So yeah, I mean, that's why the power of hindsight. I'd like to have called there even to see what they had. I left myself with 700,000, so yeah, but that's one of those things. You can change things in the power of hindsight, but what can you do? Ace-6 suited, 26 bigs. We'll raise it up. This is hand 25. Again, flop very good here. A situation like that, I could maybe let them peel, catch up, but we're happy to just take the chips at this point. A bit healthier now. Again, I like to give away my hand with bet sizings just for a laugh. So everyone calls. I've got 400,000 chip pot. It's 9 high, so again 1 over, but it's not the end of the world. Still a relatively good hand at this point. So we bet around 40%. Play the hand for their standing position. Board pairs. We check to pot control, because if we bet 300,000 and they shove, we've obviously or if they call, we've got like less than half the pot in the river. So a bit of pot control here. Hopefully no overs come. Could try and shove and take it down now, but so there could be an argument for that, I suppose. But we just in case we're behind, check again, absolutely smash the river, and then we get shoved into. So at this point I was like, okay, it was like absolutely nailed the call button. Can't remember which one they had. No, 6-8. So turned the world and paired up on the river. So we played that where there was some hands that 6-8 was beating. So the shove does look a bit polarizing, but obviously in this instance we have the absolute top of our range, so we have to call. And now we're up to 2.5 million. Here we go. This is where we start building a stack rather. So this is hand number 27 of the ones I'm going to show you today, and it's just, this is the part I was trying to say to you when you make deep runs. Like, I've played some of these hands quite well, some of these hands very poorly, some of them have changed like I've already said, but you can't, if you play well, you play bad, you need luck as well. So you need to get runs of hands later on in the tournament rather than at the start. At the start you can just accumulate chips by playing well, but you'd rather have luck on your side when it gets to the meat of the tournament. So we flop top set here, and again this is just where it gets stupid. We've got them both covered. We've got top set here. We re-ISO and get calls in both spots, so it's now a 5 million pot with both there. We'd likely have them both dead in the turn, but we fill up on the river anyway. So we had queens and 4s. So yeah, had them both pretty much dead. And at this point I was chip leader in the tournament. Quite a nice time to have it. But yeah, chip leader in the tournament. So again, this hand's fairly straightforward so far. We shove to protect our hand, get a call, and miss everything. So this one frustrated me a bit, because it was sort of a case of why is he 3-betting Jack 6 there? But you've got to shake it off, it doesn't matter, on to the next hand. It's, even though you look at the stats and it's like it's the first time they've done that, whether they've done it again, whether they've done it to me, what have I done wrong, but it doesn't matter. So we're down to 2.6 again. And here we're just going to peel, we're not going to try and blow up the pot. We check, but we are checking with a view of calling. Get a call as well there, so again there's lots of draws out there, again not the best of turns for us. But the scare card gets through. We really want this pot at this point given our stack. We'll get a bet on the river. So this is a play I might not have made in hindsight, but again this is probably because of a real-time read I had, where the small blind wasn't very strong, so I was happy to call knowing he was behind me, and the fact of villain 56. Thought he might have tried to buy that, so again he might have had a 1-pair hand with a diamond and just tried to buy it on the river. Well, I think it's quite strong to call there with 9s with somebody behind you. But I was getting 4-1 on a call. It's given me 64% equity in isolation in this instance, so obviously it's the correct call. And in this case the villain had ace-3, so not even a diamond, just a bottom pair. But again, huge hand for us, huge hand. Playing the ace-king again, so numerous options here. We 3-bet, probably take it down, or play a bloated pot out position. I'm playing a bit small ball at this point because the blinds are that big. The blind stack ratios are getting just ludicrous, so I want to try and conserve my stack where possible and not try and bloat pots out of position against people I don't know too much about. But also by limping here, I'm given the opportunity for villain 63 to try and steal 600,000 or 500,000. If we're both just arsing about in the blinds. So a call there is quite deceptive. Obviously it works in this case, so we induce the shove, and incredible run out for ace king, just a stupid run out. And yeah, queen 9, we've done the flop, so that's a big hand for us, back up to nearly 10 million. And pocket 9s, again, call on the button here, got the blinds covered. We were hoping he would go all in, but they didn't. We flop a set again. So like again, I'm gonna post the stats for this run that I had, but it just shows you that it doesn't matter how good you are. You really need hands to get deep runs like this, where you're going to tens and 20s of thousands of people. You need these hands to hold up. You need to make these insane hands, because otherwise there's no way you can win like 13 flips in a row, whatever you need to do. You need to just dominate people as well. So yeah, again, we're not folding at this point. Obviously we fill up again. Villain's betting very small, so we try and accommodate that by assuming they're not very strong, but we don't want to raise them, we want to keep them to let them keep bluffing. So a bit of a timing tell there. I'd delay call every time. Very good river for them to keep betting, but they check and we bet 1.5 million and get a fold. So again, I don't think they had anything there. I don't think we could have got any more out of that hand. So up over 10 million. Where's my list? This is hand 32 of the video. Another straightforward one. Very big hand. Villain had 9s, so yeah, we've lost a huge flip there deep in the tournament. Would have been over 15 million at that point. I mean, very nice to have, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way, so you take the hit on the chin and you carry on going. This is hand 33. Jack 10, like I said before, if you haven't been active, be active. People will start, you need to start taking these pots as often as you can. And also, fantastic turn there for us. So we bet a third pot and get a call. Fill up on the river again, so another full house. So this, I get to this point here where I've bet sort of a third pot twice, a bit meekly. I wanted to try and get calls from ace highs, so I wanted to try and bluff through the river, like I'd missed a draw or something, like missed a flush draw or something. not play it like a 10 at all. So I wanted to try and get calls from ace high, so I overshoved the pot, the river, and the villain calls us with a believing ace. Oh, nines, sorry, pocket nines. So again, yeah, I could have also had an ace there and tried to buy the pot, and he's obviously underrepped his nines, but so that works for us. So another huge pot. So now this is a couple of hands later. So this is hand 35 of the video, but hand 450 of the tournament. So yeah, I've been going on for quite a number of hours at this point. Sort of, I think about 8 hours at this point. And oh no, 10 hours, sorry. So pocket 4, standard raise, 50 bigs. Get a call from the blind. I'm liking the bet so far. I can't remember this hand. Check behind. Nine on the river. He's going to bluff here a lot because if he had any sort of draw on the flop, it's missed. We've checked behind and given up on the turn like we didn't have much. So in his head, I bet it should work a lot of the time. But I've checked on the turn knowing that he had the VPIP that he had, knowing that he's been buying the pots, that he has been buying the pots. He's been a bit looser, so he would have the tendency to do that, and it means a lot more for him, for me, to call here, to check and get this call like that. So we make the call, and I think we were right in this case. A6, so yeah. But that pot's huge for us, pot's on the same chips as them, so it's just, when you get to these stages, I think this is like the last 2 tables or something. I think this is the final table. Let me just check. Where are we? Oh no, it's going up. So we're getting close to the final table at this point. Well, the last 2 or 3 tables at this point. So we would absolutely love to nail a straight on the turn. So we sort of play out of position, building a pot where we really shouldn't be. And we try and bet the river to try and take the pot down, but the guy's stacks, he's not got that much behind. He's got 5 million behind and a 4 million pot, so if we're going to do anything here and try and buy the pot, we need to look at betting such that, like maybe a 3 million or a 3.5 million that says, look, we're calling you if you go all in, which might make them think about laying down a 9 or a 7 or something, but pretty sure we tried to buy the pot of the river with the cards that he had. Oh, 9-10, so yeah, so if we wanted to fold in that case, we are going to have to put them in, or bet like 4 million, which says we're going to call you, mate, and hope that we think we've hit the ace, but it wasn't to be. So yeah, we're getting very close to the final table at this point. Hopefully trying to get this guy's knockout, because at one point, one of these people with the very short stacks had about $900 in bounties, and I got rivered. Nearly knocked them out, and they caught the river to survive, and it's like a grand in one hand. But we get 3-bet here by a similar stacked person to us, so this was, I remember now, when we're down to the last 2 tables. So this is where you don't want to make a mistake. You've not really cash fed that much at the moment, but there is still the, with the bounties as well, maybe 8,000, 9,000 for first, so you don't want to be making any mistakes, but the price I was getting at this point, and 2.77 to 1, definitely got enough equity to do that, and I've got position, so I'd like to see a flop and just hopefully I smash it and I can really get towards building a stack for the final table. At this point, we don't want to get it in, because it's, if they bet 3 million and we shove and get called by like 7s or jacks or queens or something stupid, we're going to feel like complete idiots, so that's why this hand's a bit muddled, don't really play it too well, and not that pleased with how it went on, but we appreciate some feedback in the comments if you are watching. About 2.18 million. At this point, we should either shove or fold. We have got fold equity here. It's a very big pot, very big spot. But if we call and miss, what do we do? There was no plan. I wasn't thinking at this point. As much as I'm getting 3.39 to 1. I don't think flat calling and hoping to spike the turn or river is the right way to do it, because if you call, pot's going to be 10 million, and they are just going to just protect their hand if they've got one, or bluff if they haven't. So you're not really getting any more information by calling. So pick up another draw on the turn, straight draw and a flush draw open-ended. But it's one of those ones. So at this point we're going to, again, not sure if I played this right, but we've got so many outs, we want to realise them, we want to realise our equity, so we try and check behind to try and get some showdown value in the river. It absolutely bricks in the river. So we get check 2 again. So we got check 2 twice after the on the turn and river. So to me that isn't very strong. To me that's someone who could have had a high card, been trying to protect it on the flop or something, or a straight draw that's missed, or any sort of things that's but obviously I don't think we're going to win if we check back. So here I really wish in hindsight that I'd have shoved, because I'd have had 18 million chips, I'd have been one of the table chip leaders going into the final table. Going to put on some real pressure on the short stacks, and yeah, I didn't have the balls in the end, so it came down to. And they win the pot with the king high, which you just don't want to see. I felt so sick after that. But if I shove there, it's not getting, it's getting through, 100% getting through. The stats I have on the villain, almost like king jack, obviously. So yeah, that hand kills our sort of morale at the time anyway. But we try and at this point with like say 12-13 left, we need to get to the final table. We've not got to a massive final table for a long time. So here we want to win the pot without putting ourselves at risk if we don't need to. Happy to check it down. Obviously being the river. I could have gone for some value there, to be fair. He's not showing any strength the whole hand. I could have bet 2 million. And I would have got a call here, definitely, if I'd have bet 2 or 3 million. Pocket fours. It's one of the last few hands this guy's hand 38, only 6 left. So it shows we're quite clear in the final table. Probably could stab at the turn here. I'm not sure why I called. Obviously because I knew the full house was coming. So overshove the river again. I could have played that differently on the I don't think the leading and representing the flush is the right way to do it. I should have checked there. If I checked there, I'm basically saying I've not got anything that they would have bet. They wouldn't have checked behind with like an 8 or something. They tried to win the pot hopefully. But we overship and it didn't work. We take the pot down anyway. Pocket sevens. This is really close to the final table, as you can tell. So again, I'm flattening out position against a big stack, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But we will have had again a read on them at the time. We've been playing with each other for quite a while. So at this point, when you check, you know they're going to bet. No, if you check knowing that they're going to bet, knowing you're not going to call, you played the hand wrongly. So I've said to myself at this point, I want to wreck my sevens here. They could be betting anything on the river given the size of the pot, so I'm going to call anyway. So they bet 3 million, and I just said to myself, I'm calling, I don't care what happens. And they had to do 6 to misdraw, because I'm beating so much that they're betting there. So again, that's a massive injection to our stack, which we needed just before the final table. And again, now these hands are all within 2 or 3 after each other because they're right close to the money. So this here was again a not very well played hand. I looking at the guy's stack, I have him beaten here. I still have about 12 bigs if I go all in and lose. I should have been putting on maximum pressure at this point, and if I'm betting there knowing I'm not going to call a raise, I shouldn't be betting there. Not quite sure why I did it, but looking at the guy's stats at the time, same guy from before, don't think they would be raising a strong ace like that. Must be a draw. So I should have gone all in, given the way that hand played, but very disappointed that didn't, but I was too scared I wasn't going to make the final table, so that just shows the pressure on. So now we finally get the final table, which we're very happy with. I think I'll included this hand to show that it was the final table. Don't think anything of interest happens here. don't think anything happens here. No, right. So we make the final table, and we about 5th, or I think we're 6th in chips. Look at that quickly. So, yeah. So we want to ladder up as much as possible, because if you look at the, I'll bring up the lobby again, just very awkwardly. At this point we've got 460 with how many bounties we had at the time, but the pay jumps start to get really sort of interesting towards the top, and we don't want to start making moves early and jeopardising our stack when we can try and ladder up. Jeopardising the stack's wrong word. We want to try and build a stack so we can make a really good run at this, but we also equally don't want to be cavalier with our chip stack and just sort of piss away ICM and equity and everything like that. So last couple of hands now. We have pocket kings here. Again, yeah, this isn't one that I'm proud of. We get a limp from villain 81. We get a couple of calls, I think. So yeah, the pot's 3.5 million at this point. I want to raise in here to obviously protect my hand, get some money into the pot and look to make a big hand. But obviously take it from there. Well, obviously nobody's been eliminated yet, and I'm conscious of ICM considerations, and we get a massive raise. And I've only ever seen, especially given the given that he's quite a big stack and there's maybe 3 or 4 stacks below him, 5 stacks below him. 4, I can't count. For me, there's so much to consider here. He could have queens, he could have kings. He's most likely got aces for me. There's nothing I would, if I was in his shoes, there's nothing I would limp then massive re-raise pre-flop if it wasn't able other than aces. If he goes, say if I had him covered, or one of the guys in the blinds who got the guy caught, like, yeah, actually I think he's got everyone covered, so he might have just been looking to get the knockout of the bounty. So that's something I've not considered until just now. But I think this was one of our worst faults of the tournament. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it now looking at it. In a normal tournament for me, given the player that I am, given the ICM considerations, I'd much rather try and ladder up than either get a bad beat in this situation or get it in against aces and be stone dead. So I can't call. It's made it such that I can't call. So I think I made a very bad fall there, especially given that he's 3-betting into 3 short stacks. He's probably got maybe queens or maybe he has kings as well, but he's got a hand where he's willing to risk a lot of his stack to try and get some bounties, and he's obviously, he knows all that. So yeah, just dead 2.1 million there, so I'm not very happy with that hand at all. The very next hand, I believe that is, oh, this is 8 hands later, sorry. We continue on this board, I believe. Oh no, we don't know because we've not got that much behind. Pick up a huge draw on the turn, check again. So you make the absolute nuts in the river. And obviously the big blind had nothing, so it's one of those hands. I'm hoping in this report, oh, no I haven't. So there was a hand with this villain here, hence why they're on so many chips, which shows the power of tournaments is that he went all in. He called 2 all-ins with deuces against queens and ace jack suited, and flopped a set and knocked them both out. So by folding that kings there, because I knew the table was quite lively, there's now 4 people out, so I've gained an extra, what's that? Oops. Gained an extra 1300 at this point. So yeah, I mean I could have got in with those kings, but I'll live with that decision for now. And I believe this is the last hand, where it's got to the stage where we can't hold on any longer. We've not had any positions where we can do anything about it, so obviously we're going if they raise or not on the button. We go all in for our last 6 bigs, and not the flop we wait to see. yeah, and we have the ace king, so that's us done. So there's a lot to think about there. Hopefully you guys can see that, just a bit of sort of comprehension of what needs to happen to facilitate a run like that, because obviously it's a crazy run, probably not going to happen again. In terms of like the field size, like it doesn't happen that often. It's like 3,000 to 1 to make the final table or something, so it's crazy. So in my mind, I've lost quite a lot of equity in focusing on making the final table, because forever been a bit of a nearly man in those situations, and I'd rather say I made the final table than I had the best hand, went all in, but got beat. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that meant a lot more to final table than those 2 or 3 marginal hands where, or 2 or 3 massive hands where I missed out on a lot of equity, which probably would have got me a lot more money in hindsight. But that King's one's going to frustrate me. Any of those hands that resonate with you in any way, or anything that any sort of input you guys have, please let me know. Let me know if you'd have played any hands differently or anything, and probably better get a bit of a conversation going. But these MicroMillions are fun, man, they really are. So it shows what you can do. You can spin up a fiver in no time. So yeah, we're hopefully going to start producing a bit more content now. It's been a bit quiet on this channel for quite a while because lifestyle changes and things going on. We haven't really played that much cards in a way, but we're going to get back into the swing of things now, so a lot more content to come. So please keep your eyes peeled, and talk soon.